Party people, how you feeling?
How are you feeling? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Papa Jug Podcast. We are here on a Friday night because that's when I record these things. And I broadcast them. I broadcast them live. A couple of announcements real quick up front. Want to remind you, if you are finding us somewhere other than YouTube or watching on YouTube for the first or second time, please remember to go subscribe to the channel. Would really, really appreciate that. It helps me out a ton. Trying to get to 500 subs. We picked up 6 more today. Thank you if you are one of them. 6 more today. Just dropped a new shorts video today. So we're grinding on that. We're sitting at, I think, 167 right now. And so, everything is growing there, and we want to keep that momentum going. So if you're listening to the audio of this, or maybe watching the replay of it, or if you are dropping into the live broadcast for the very first time, hit the sub button. Also, like, comment, all the other things that everybody asks you to do. I'm going to ask you the same thing. So there's that. Second, if you have not joined the PJParty Discord, please do that. You will find a link in the show notes. You will find a link in the show description on YouTube. All you've got to do is click that link and you can get yourself into the Discord. Great place to meet other content creators like myself. Great place to meet gamers. Great place to meet people who all over the world, by the way. We've got a great international audience. I love to see that. And just want to make sure that you can become part of that community if you choose to. So that's that. And also, if you join the Discord, you will get access to the huge announcement that I am making on Tuesday. Discord gets access to pretty much everything first. Pretty much. Like that's kind of a thing. So you definitely want to join the Discord. Meet some people. Have some good times. So fun stuff. So yeah, there's a big announcement coming on Tuesday. It involves a recent milestone that the community hit, which is hitting 1,000 followers on Twitch. If you are interested in live gaming content, then make sure to follow me on Twitch. Big announcement regarding that. Big announcement regarding the entire community as a whole. So there's a lot going on. Make sure you check that out as well. So definitely go to the Discord. Anyways, tonight we've got a ton of stuff going on. We have big topics, like important topics that are going to potentially change a lot of the things that we always talk about on this channel involving streaming and gaming. So we're going to be talking about Kick. What did the CEO say regarding contracts? Eddie Craven has come out with a statement about that. We're going to go over that. We're going to talk about Projekt Red. Projekt Red made a very unfortunate announcement over the last week. We're going to talk about that disappointment as well. Then we're going to talk about August game releases. What titles are coming out in the month of August across all the platforms. We'll focus on the biggest ones that I think we're all looking forward to. Then we're going to talk about Saudi Arabia. What are they doing with their money and why do we care? We'll talk to you about that one. And then at the end, our big chat of the night. If you're not familiar with the concept, what we do is at the end of each show, the final topic we discuss, it's usually the longest topic, but this one is what we call the big chat. And what we are going to be talking about is Amouranth and Fousey. What were they doing together? Guess what? I don't give a shit if they're dating. That's not what we're discussing. So that is what we're going to cover tonight. I want to jump right into... Oh, I also have to give some very quick recognition to my fellow friends over at Rise Above, the Rise Above team. All this week, in fact, right now, Witchy Nerd X is live on Twitch raising the probably second to final, because I think Mother Nocturne is going to be doing her fundraiser again tonight as well. But Witchy Nerd X is live on Twitch right now doing a fundraiser, so we're very excited about that. We have smashed, crushed, obliterated our original goal to help Stack Up, which is a great organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. They help military veterans as well as active duty personnel with mental health challenges, and they do that through the power of gaming and geek culture. They do some really, really creative stuff that I've not seen other charities do. So I'm very happy about that one. Congratulations to everybody at Rise Above. And a huge thanks to all of our, huge thanks to all of our communities that have donated towards this amazing cause. It is hugely helpful. Your generosity makes a difference. I cannot thank you enough for being a part of that. I've donated, Nocturna's donated, Chappie's donated, Witchy's donated. We're all putting our money where our mouth is, and you guys have closed the gaps. So thank you very much for doing that. Welcome to everybody that is showing up in chat. This is, wow, check this out. I think this is my first YouTube live stream ever. Mind blown. Love it. This is so cool. If it is, sorry, there's better ones out there, but whatever. This is what we're doing tonight. We're going to jump right into it, though. If this is your first time ever watching a YouTube live, or if this is your first time listening to the later recording of the audio, then I am very glad to spend some time with you, and thank you for picking me. I feel so special. Let's jump right into our first topic, and that is Kik. What did the CEO say? The CEO came out on Twitter in writing, in typing. I'm sorry, on X. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. He came out on X. That doesn't make any. That is so dumb sound. Anyways, so CEO of Kik, Eddie Craven, billionaire, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this. The founder of Kik is a billionaire with a B. Yeah, that's how much money. So this is the way it works, is he has come out on X. I mean, I guess we have to start saying that, right? He came out on X and he put out an X. I don't know what he posted. He posted on X and he said this: the greatest days of live streaming are still to come, which is true for pretty much every industry, unless you're like the newspaper. The greatest days of live streaming are still to come. The greatest live content is still to be produced. That's true. I'm not quitting. So you'll see more amazing content from me, especially if this is only your first time watching a YouTube live. The greatest streamers are still yet to do their first stream. I've already done my first stream. Damn it. There's going to be better people than me. We've got incredible plans, and Kik looks forward to leading the way into the next era of streaming. Cool. Little hype post. Not anything crazy, right? That's not the interesting part. There was a reply from a user named LeafyIsHereHQ. Says, signing XQC for $100 million was a huge mistake. He steams more. I'm reading this verbatim. He steams more on Twitch than he does on Kik. If I was you, I'd try to find a loophole in the contract to void it ASAP. Also, start signing smaller / mid-size streamers, better to sign 100 streamers for $1 million each than one for $100 million. Not an entirely uncommon reply. A lot of people have been, not a lot, that's not fair. Some people have been critical of the XQC deal. I don't know if you guys saw, by the way, after the XQC deal got announced, somebody told Shaquille O'Neal about it. They told Shaq, and Shaq was like, maybe I need to start streaming. Like, even Shaq was blown away by the dollar amounts. He got $50 million a year if he gets all the bonuses. Apparently, the way the deal is structured is that it's a $70 million base pay, and then if he hits something, we don't know. If other things occur, that 70 can be as high as $100 million over 2 years. That's kind of crazy. So, anyways, so Leafy says that. Eddie Craven replied. This was the interesting part. Eddie says this: X, meaning XQC, not the new name of Twitter. X is a true flagship of the streaming industry. There's definitely 100 times $1 million deals up for grabs. In other words, we are going to do smaller deals, and there's a lot of them coming. There's even 1,000 times $100,000 deals up for grabs. So even smaller crunch. So it's not just like, hey, we've got to spend. Apparently they offered $40 million to Kai. Kai was like, no. Which, I mean, interesting. They basically, as we understand it now, a few months ago they offer Kai $40 million. Kai says no. They offer XQC $70 million plus $30 million bonuses. Like that's a jump. I'm not sure where Kik is seeing like the difference in terms of value, but damn, like that was harsh. Did you imagine being Kai and be like, no, 40 million is not enough, and then they go back to XQC with 70, a 75% bump, 75% bump plus another 75% bump on top of that if he hits the bonus. So. Eddie goes on to say, all alongside a creator incentive program made to ensure anyone can be paid a fair price for quality streams. Give us time. Eddie Craven has come out and said, we are not going to just make these huge multi-million-dollar deals. We're going to do $1 million deals. We're going to do $100,000 deals. They want to pay people flat rates if they're making great content. So a couple of things that I think we learn from this. One, I'm not going to forget all of you when I'm super wealthy from content creation. I just want to let you know, when my Kick contract comes in, I'm just letting you all know now, I'm not going to forget your names. I'm still going to lurk your channels. I'm still going to re-X you. I don't know, whatever. I'll retweet you. I'm going to do all these things even after I'm a huge Kick star. Just saying. Number two, this is a change in dynamic in that they're going to be doing these flat rate payments. We've seen these occasionally before, but only for the top 0.001% or whatever it is. Now it looks like they may be paying people who have smaller audiences, who have more niche markets that are, really focused on a particular piece of non-gaming and or maybe non-chatting content. Maybe it really is. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff that never goes anywhere because they just don't know how to market themselves or they don't know how to run a business or whatever. But there was a guy that I used to watch, and I wish I could remember because I would give them credit right here and now and live. But there was somebody who connected me to a guy who did woodworking in his garage. He's a talented dude. Like, he's got an art form, but he was never consistent. He never marketed his channel. He just wanted to like be, hey, I'm doing art stuff. You want to watch? Cool. But like something like that, if you took somebody with that kind of a creative talent, that kind of a maker, and you really put some business structure around them, that could be worth $100,000 contract because people watch this. I've seen, there was one person that was on a Twitch feature, and they were at the top of the homepage, and it was a woman making balloon animals. This lady had it down. Like, she had the RGB backgrounds, she had music, she had lighting, like she was set to go. She had like a whole bookshelf of all these little things. It was a professional production. Again, I wish I didn't plan on talking about her tonight, but again, some amazing stuff. Yes, I promise, chat. I promise I will not forget you when I am super wealthy from content creation. I don't know when that'll be, but it's coming. Eddie, I'm sending you a message, all right? I'm going to take... Eddie talked about there's 1,000 times 100K deals. Eddie, I'll take a 10K deal. Give me a 10K deal and I'll prove the value. I will show you a whole new side of streamer. Anyways, so when you have content like that, I think that what you can have is those smaller deals that would never qualify and probably never should. They should not get a $10 million deal for making balloon animals, okay? For all credit to her and her craft and her entertainment value. Her entertainment value was great. She knew how to talk to chat. She knew how to talk about her art. She knew how to interact with the people that were doing the subbing and the following. Like, she was totally down for that. Is that ever going to net $10 million in revenue for Kick? No. I don't care how much you promote that. No. Like, you'd have to reinvent her as, anyway, the whole marketing conversation. So I think it's cool that Kick is going to come out and say, all right, this is what we're willing to invest in. And Eddie's a billionaire, so what he does with his billions is up to him. But if this is the way that they're going to be supporting the community by giving some of these smaller deals, which, and not a lot, he's at 1,000. All right. 8, according to Stream Charts, 8 million accounts went live on Twitch in the last 3 months. Well, now it's 4 months. So like 1,000 out of 8 million is not a ton. And that's just the accounts that went live on Twitch. That doesn't count the people who are only on YouTube or only on Facebook Gaming or only on Kick. It's just 8 million on Twitch. So is the 1,000? No, but he's just using round numbers. Like, he's just making a point. His point is there's smaller contracts that will be coming. And I think that's cool. I think Twitch should do the same thing. I think YouTube should do the same thing. If you find that talent, build the roster. Get them locked in. And I don't mean through exclusive contracts, which I would understand if some were and some weren't, whatever. But lock these people into your platform in a way that says, we are the ones who are supporting you. We are the ones who believe in your craft. I think that's pretty cool. That's what he said. And remember, at the bottom of the tweet or the X or whatever it is, he says, give us time. Give us a week, give us a month, give us a year. Who knows? Let's all keep in mind, Kick has been live for 7 months. Do I think Kick still has problems to solve? Yes, I do. Do I think Kick has some image problems to solve? Yes, I do. Do I think that those are permanent? That's up to Kick. Not up to Jug. It's up to Kick. Chat says, I watched a guy build shoes in his apartment. Exactly. That's what I'm talking. I watched a guy build shoes in his apartment and it was cool as hell. I know, right? You watch a maker. You watch somebody who has this really just kind of unseen talent from the rest of the world. Like, we always focus on the gamers. We always focus on the athletes. We always focus on the actors. We focus on the controversial politicians. What about that person who is making, watercolor art? What about that person who is weaving replicas of ancient Navajo baskets? When we're not seeing stuff like that, it strips out some of the beautiful parts of the cultures that they are in. Chefs. Could a chef generate $10 million in revenue for Kick? Fuck yes. Absolutely they could. You want to get an entertaining chef who's making amazing food and you want to give them a contract? Money in the bank. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but food, content is pretty fucking popular. I think that's the kind of stuff we need to see more of. And if Kick or Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or whoever or Trovo, whatever, if any of these companies want to be the ones to say, yeah, that's what we're going to invest in, and we want to be the ones to grow that content, we want to be the ones to grow that economy, I think there's a business model behind it. Could just be me. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's been my number one answer when asked why I don't stream on Kick. Food is awesome. Food can bring the world together. I will eat damn near anything. I've asked plenty of people in my community, which is now 1,000+ on Twitch. I've asked plenty of people, hey, you're making food, mail it to me. I will eat that. I will eat that on camera. I will do that all the time. I should do a food stream one day. I can't cook. Like, I can kind of cook. I'm okay at it. I need to practice. I can kind of cook, but I can eat. Mid-level cook, pro-level eater. Watch what I can do. Yummy. Okay, let's move on to topic number 2, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, stay tuned for your Kick contract. Topic number 2 tonight, CD Projekt Red. This was an unfortunate one. Right after, yeah. Cyberpunk 2077. We've got this news coming out. It got announced, I think, at, was that Summer Games Fest or where the hell, I forget where it was announced, but the new expansion for Cyberpunk, that's coming out. We know that there's more content for Witcher. We know there's content. So CD Projekt Red, sounds like great things are happening. No. Unfortunately, CD Projekt Red has just announced that they will be laying off around 100 people, which is about 9% of their company. Ouch. It's interesting what the CEO said, though. So, first of all, the 100 people will not be laid off immediately. The 100 people will be laid off over approximately the next, and I'm not making this up. Oh shit, where did it go? No. Where did it go? I want to say it was 7 months, but I can't find the line in the article now. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. The layoffs are, quote, not immediate, unquote, as the company will be letting go of some of the affected 100 employees as late as Q1 of 2024. That could be as late as March. So this could be up to 9 months from now. It sucks because if you know you're losing your job, you're like, yeah, I still got a job for 8 or 9 months, but then I know I'm out on the fucking street. Like, it's cool though. You get to find time to be like, hey, you can go to other employers and be like, hey, in 9 months, I'm going to be moving on from CDPR. So, might you have something for me? So it does give them time to find jobs. Not all of them. Some of them have lost their jobs immediately. That pink slip went out. That sucks. But the CEO said the layoffs are part of, quote, refining the shape, unquote, of the company's teams as it works on its, English is a language. As it works on its ambitious roadmap of projects, including a new trilogy of games in the Witcher series and the next Cyberpunk game codenamed Orion. I don't know why we're using code names. Don't we know what it's called? It's whatever the hell I just forgot what it was called. Whatever. Part of the roadmap roadmap includes several deep transformations, which will help the studio make, quote, quality games on time and without crunch. No, I'm sorry. No, I don't believe that at all. The on time part, maybe, but without a crunch, you got revenue to make. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, okay, we're just going to make games whenever we feel like it. Is everybody feeling positive today? Oh, good. We're in the healthy mindset. Let's make some games. No, you got revenue to make, dude. You're not doing this without a time crunch. Somebody has a deadline, and it's probably you. So that's BS. He goes on to say, there's no easy way to say this, but today we are overstaffed. Based on current and expected project needs, we already know we don't have other opportunities for the employees affected in the next year. Fair statement. I'm good with that. It's not insulting. It's not the way Niantic did it. Remember that from episode 7 or episode 8 of the podcast. This is the third set of layoffs that CDPR has announced in the past 3 months. In May, 29 employees lost their job at Molasses Flood, which is currently working on a separate Witcher project codenamed Sirius. In June, CDPR let go of 30 employees who were part of the team working on the Witcher card game spin-off Gwent as the studio scales back development on it. All right, it sucks. But again, this is the unfortunate thing, and I want to remind everybody, whether you are a content creator or a member of our communities, the economy is changing, people. The heyday of a few years ago, pre-COVID, no, it is not the same world anymore. There are massive layoffs happening in the tech industry. There are massive layoffs happening in the gaming industry. It's not the same world. We have to adjust. Budgets are going to be tight. Saying. Let's all be prepared for that, and let's be patient. Let's be understanding. Let's be helpful. Let's be kind. Let's do these things that we must do. We have to step up our efforts to do when times are tough. We can all get through things together if we help each other. All right, so that's what's going on at Projekt Red. It's unfortunate. It's their third set of layoffs in 3 months, but this is the big one. This is bigger than both of the last two combined. Thankfully, it's not going to affect all of them immediately. Some of them get a little bit of a leeway, and they get to, hopefully find a new place to land before they end up getting the pink slips. Up next, what do we got? That is not what we got. On the screen is the wrong image. Let's try this again, folks, because I'm pretty sure that I broke the system. By the way, I should tell you what happened before. Yeah, there we go. We're going to talk about August games. Hold on. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay. So anyways, August gaming schedules. We are currently recording this on July 28th, so we've got 3 days before August stuff hits. We've got some interesting stuff happening on August 3rd. The game Adore. It's a multi-platform. It goes out on the PC, PS5, Series X, PS4, Xbox, Switch. Sorry, multi-platform. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to Adore. Interesting concept, very interesting graphics. But Adore will be coming out August 3rd. Tiny Thor hits the Switch on August 3rd. Death Becomes You, also multi-platform, but not PC. It is console only. PS, Xbox, and Switch. That hits August 4th. So let's move down. There's a couple of boring things between then and August 9th. August 9th is Legend Bowl. Also not PC, console only, all the consoles. Between August 9th and August 11th, not much except for Stray Gods. That could be interesting. It's a role-playing musical. That'll be August 10th. But The Way of the Hunter, the Tika Moon Plains DLC, that comes out August 11th. So if you are into Way of the Hunter, the Tika Moon's Plains DLC, that comes out August 11th. Wayfinder hits PC and PlayStation August 15th. A lot of people have been looking forward to that one. The new WWE 2023 Bad News U-Pack DLC. If you're into the wrestling games, you got a new DLC hitting August 16th. Oh, this was the big one. Madden 24. So this is all the platforms. Yes, this is all platforms. Madden 24 will hit August 18th. So if you did the pre-order, August 18th is when your content will be hitting. That is Madden 24. Madden series, long time, always gets pretty positive reviews except for a couple of years. But Madden 24, oh, who's on the cover? Do you guys know? Anybody in chat know? Madden 24 cover. What? Oh, wait, what is this? There's a mistake on the cover? Josh Allen is the first Buffalo Bills player to be featured on the cover of the Madden game. He called it a childhood dream come true, but some are calling for an apparent editing error on EA Sports' part. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Madden released 2 versions of the video game. I didn't know about this. Madden released 2 versions of the video game cover. The standard edition for $70 features a photo of Allen looking down with his hands on his shoulder pads. He's gripping the collar in a classic pregame pose. The deluxe edition, which offers 3-day early access, 4,600 Madden points, and a quote AKA player item for a $30 upcharge. Jesus, guys, that's $100 for a Madden game. Anyways, it depicts Allen celebrating with fans after jumping into the stands. Blah blah blah. But if you zoom in, you'll notice an error. Look closely at Allen's face. One of the bars. Oh yeah. One of the bars on his face mask is cut off. They edited. They made sure you could see his face. No, wait a minute. They extended it? Wait, what? The error is curious because Allen does not typically wear a face mask with a third horizontal bar. They added it, which appears partially erased in the photo. He opts for only top and bottom horizontal bars along with a small horizontal piece on the edge. Yeah, it's true. Look at here. I'll put it up on screen for those of you that are watching live or watching the VOD. Let me go bring this up for a second. As soon as I remember, how things work. Chrome. There we go. Is this going to work? Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to scroll up for a second. This is from the cover. If you zoom in, there's this third bar right here that cuts across his face. And you can see it's a different color. Almost at the apex of it, where it starts to bend out, it turns from a white to a gray. But he doesn't wear that. Oh, I'm sitting here scrolling like it's going to work on my broadcast software. But here's a photo of him actually in game. That third bar doesn't exist. What the hell happened? Why would they add that? That makes no sense. It blocks the star. An updated version, an updated version that erased part of his face mask was used as their Facebook cover around 4:30. The corrected version was used in a subsequent promotional social media post. Huh, I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. News for us all, everyone. Okay. So anyways, like I said, Madden 24 is a big one that comes out August 18. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also August 18, but that is only PS5 and Xbox. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's also PC. Haha. PC, PS5, and Series X. Okay. I didn't realize it was a PC thing. Let's see. What is it? Oh, all the way down to August 31st, The Tenants, the Pets DLC comes out. Trine 5, A Clockwork Conspiracy, that comes out August 31st as well. The ones that we don't have dates for, Ark Survival Ascended. Anybody know in chat if we have a date for that yet? According to Games Radar, there's no date for it. But I thought there was a date for Ark Survival. Survival Ascended, sorry. It is expected sometime in August, but according to Games Radar, it's not out yet. Big Fat Battle also comes out sometime this month, it is expected. Kill the Crows on PC, also August expected, but no definite date. The Isle Tide Hotel comes out in August. Anyways, yeah, so there's quite a few, decent gaming titles coming out. Missed the part is they tried to remove a bar, but they added one. That's what I'm not understanding. I would bet they didn't add it. They just photoshopped his face onto someone else's. No. It's a photo of him. I'm not even sure legally they could do that because it would have to maintain all of the Buffalo Bills branding. Like the NFL, I don't think would allow it. But anyways, so yeah, if anybody's got dates for those games, drop it into chat or put it in the comments. Do whatever you'd like to do. But in the meantime, those are your titles that are coming out in the month of August. Some good ones coming out, so make sure you pick those up. If you haven't pre-ordered yet, please do. because that helps support the gaming industry, but I don't care. It's your money. Spend it however you want. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Saudi Arabia. Wow, Jug, that's a really boring topic. No, it's not. Let me explain to you why. So you may not know this, but there's a lot of money in video games. Weird. When titles cost $70 for the stock version and then $100 for pre-orders because there's premiums. Yes, I bought Starfield. There's a lot of money. It is roughly. It depends on how you calculate it. Let me qualify a couple of things. There's different ways to calculate the value of the video game industry. On the low, kind of average end is going to be $180 billion. That includes a lot of things, such as certainly your titles itself. Like if you're buying the game, that's one set of dollars. Then you've got merch. Then you've got endorsement. Like there's a whole bunch of little parts that go into it. 180 billion. I've seen some estimates that from 2022, 2023, depending on where the time frame is, that could be 300 billion, depending on what you include. It's a ton of money. Well, guess who else has a lot of money? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia wants a chunk of that pie. Let's talk about this. Saudi Arabia is the new home of some of soccer's biggest stars. They co-own a new professional golf league. I don't know if you guys know this, but the PGA has now folded into a Saudi Arabian company. Yeah, PGA, the American PGA, Professional Golf Association, they have folded into a Saudi company called Live, I forget, LIV, whatever, it's Live. And they are proving to be no less ambitious when it comes to another global pastime, the $180 billion a year video game industry. Last September, I didn't catch this, but I caught it now. Last September, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is something like, I want to say $600 billion. Like it's massive. It's literally the government slush fund of Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund earmarked nearly $40 billion for a new conglomerate aimed at transforming the kingdom into, quote, the ultimate global hub, unquote, for games and esports by 2030. In February of 2023, in February of 2023, the Saudi Wealth Fund became the biggest outside investor in Nintendo. Damn! The Saudis own they're the biggest foreign investor in Nintendo. The Switch, the thing that outsold all the other consoles. Just this month, which is July, this is a July article, just this month, the kingdom hosted a major gaming tournament with a $45 million prize pool. I'm just staring into the camera because the prizes for video games was $45 million. Holy crap. Oh yeah. Their goal, and they've done this in other industries, they're doing it in golf, they're laying foundations for decades. They're not thinking about this year. They're not thinking about next year. They're laying goals for decades. How do they use their current slush fund of money to become the hub for major entertainment in the future? Football is a big deal to them. Golf is a big deal to them. Obviously, video games are a big deal to them. Racing is a big deal to them. And it's all kinds of racing. It's horse racing. It's drone racing. It's car racing. Anything that is a high-end, lucrative sport, that is what they're investing in. And they've committed $40 billion to become the hub of video gaming. Now, what did we talk about at the beginning of this show? Eddie Craven offering contracts to streamers. Could the Saudis do the same? Could the Saudis come in and say, all right, we've got millions of dollars. Let's create a new network. Or let's buy Twitch from Amazon. Amazon's not making any money. By the way, Twitch has never turned a profit in its ever. In the whole existence of the company. Twitch has never turned a profit up to today. Still never been a profitable entity. Could the Saudis buy it and just not care? They just want the celebrities. They just want the contracts. They want the content. They want the creators. Could the Saudis do that? Could they step in and say, hey, Amazon, we'll take it. We'll solve that little problem for you. No big deal. Just saying. They're committing $40 billion to it. Maybe they want to turn Twitch from the big... Oh, that would be a trip, though, because everything about the Saudis, as you can see on screen, it's green. Their flag is green. They love the color green. If they made Twitch a green network, that would be a problem. Woo. Yeah. Let the games begin. I can see that being interesting. We already have a green network. I don't know. Maybe they'll buy it. Maybe that's Eddie Craven's goal. Maybe Eddie is just trying to set this up for sale. He's going to be like, yeah, give me $2 billion and I'm good to go. Thanks. Kick's yours. I'm just saying, but mark it. Put it on your calendars. Especially my friend Chappie, who's not good with telling days apart. Chappie, put it on your calendar. Jug is saying that the Saudis are either going to start or buy a streaming system. I'm just saying. Yeah, this is one of the problems, though. The move into gaming has sparked the same kind of backlash seen in soccer and golf, soccer aka real football, where critics accuse the Saudis of sports washing, human rights abuses, including the killing of journalists, especially Jamal Khashoggi, who was a Saudi dissident, blah, blah, blah. So there's that. Okay, so we go back to that issue of huge opportunities with huge amounts of money, but not the most squeaky clean image. And that's going to parlay into our final topic of the night. So stay tuned. But I think that's it poses a problem. And we've heard Pokimane talk about this. Pokimane, she was on Twitter. I think she said it on her streams. She would not take a $10 million contract, I think she said, from Kick. She wouldn't even accept $10 million from Kick because, in her opinion, it would compromise her morals and ethics. She disagrees morally and ethically with the backing of Kick. Okay? You're going to have the same thing with the Saudis. The Saudis would come in and they would probably host some of the most elaborate, well-funded, definitely the most well-funded, gaming and esports stuff on the planet. But you have to go into a kingdom that treats women as second-class citizens, if they treat them as citizens at all in some cases. You'd have to go into a kingdom that has no problem murdering journalists. You'd have to go into a kingdom that discriminates, hate. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. They don't discriminate against the LGBT community. They hate the LGBT community. Okay? It is a death sentence in that country, as it is in many other places around the world, especially the Middle East. So, like I said, it gets into that thing of huge opportunities, lucrative dollars. Where do the morals and ethics come in? Where is it hey, I'm just going to make what I'm going to make, and if somebody wants to pay me, cool. All right. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Other people are going to have an issue with it. They don't want what they might call dirty money. I'm not here to tell anybody what the right or wrong answer is. I can tell you that I have certain standards that I will not compromise. I probably wouldn't set foot in Saudi Arabia. I don't care if there was, I'll take the Pokimane line. You could pay me $10 million. I'm not going there. It's just not going to happen. I can't validate the things that they do and the way that they run their country. I can't validate that kind of just willful disregard of human rights. Human rights. Just basic facts that you get, basic things you should have as a human being. They don't care. I wouldn't go. But that's me. This is my show, so I can say that. Go start your own show. But as I said, that brings us into our final topic of the night. This is our big chat, okay? We're going to move from Saudi Arabia to the two people you see on screen right now, Amouranth and Fousey. Why are we talking about them? We're talking about them because many of you are probably aware of Fousey's history. He has been a content creator. He probably started on YouTube around like 2010, 2011. You know, homeboy's been doing his thing for a long, long time. Almost always controversial. So much stuff that he's done has been controversial, staged, morally questionable, bullying others. If we are to take things at face value, there is also a documented history of mental health challenges. He does struggle with mental health problems, and that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. But he basically killed all of his social media. I don't know, 3-4 years, whatever it was. He shut that all down, came back. He does things a little bit differently now. Just a lot of like IRL streams and stuff like that. That's his content that he makes. Different from the stage stuff. But he's done podcasts. He's done live broadcasts. He's hosted radio shows. He's done pranks. He's done skits. He's done He's done live events. He's tried to put on live events. The biggest, most notorious one was a miserable failure. And I'm not going to get into that's not the point either. But still, the dude has a lot of history and experience when it comes to content creation, as does Amouranth. She started around, my guess, if I remember right, would be about 2016. She's about 2016. She's done quite a few things. She is now very well known for the last couple of years, very well known for her business prowess. She is very, very smart when it comes to business and investments, things that are outside of content creation, but that can still earn her a second, third, fourth stream of revenue that's passive for the most part. So anyways, it was a very interesting thing when I heard about this. She got together with Fousey and they did a live stream together. They went out to eat. They had conversations. They were hanging out. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, are they together? Are they a couple?" Who the fuck cares? Shut up. If your biggest concern is what streamer is dating what streamer, you're missing the point. That's not what this is about. The interesting thing was, I watched part of it, and there was a whole lot of comments that got me thinking about bigger issues. One, a lot of Amouranth's content, she now talks about the difference between Twitch and Kick. She routinely and regularly talks about the fact that she can do things on Kick that she can't do on Twitch. She says it a lot. It's like, "Oh yeah, well maybe I'll just do that on Kick." So that tells you something about not only the way the media perceives Kick, the way that the audiences perceive Kick, but also the way that the content creators perceive Kick. They see Kick as the Wild West. If they can't do it somewhere else, they can do it on Kick. And I think that there's some danger in that for all three, for the creator, for the audience, and for Kick itself. I think that means that when Kick realizes that there are legal issues that can come down the pike from this, when Kick realizes that there are advertiser issues, because Eddie Craven has said repeatedly that he wants to rely on advertising for most of the income. He's not going to, steal the money, as he calls it. He's not going to take from the content creators, from their subs and their donations and all of that. He wants to do it through advertisers. I mean, if you're the Wild West, there's a lot of advertisers that are reputable, big companies that would love to invest in content creation and live content creation, but they can't risk their brand integrity. They just can't. They're not going to. So it's going to limit the pool of advertisers. So, like I said, she talked about this, and she goes on about how they're different. She talks about how you can do things on one and not the other. She talks about the frustrations. Fine. It poses an issue when she portrays it that way. She talked about, and then there was some questions in chat. People were asking her, are you getting together with Fousey and da-da-da-da. And people were asking her, like, why are you going to see him? Taking all the dating and the sex stuff out of it. They were just like, why are you going to go hang out with him? Like, the big italics was on him. Like, he's tainted. He's dangerous. He's old has-been news, like that kind of stuff. People were like, why are you going to go hang out with that guy? And she addressed it a little bit, and it got me thinking about something else, which is more of the big topic that I want to get into tonight. And we've talked about it now with the Saudi Arabia fund. We've talked about it with Kick. She said that, people need to be basically less judgy. I'm not going to quote her exactly because I didn't write it all down. But she basically makes a point, and she says that people need to just understand that he was just creating content. He was just doing what he does. That was his thing. And she's like, so what? Let's all move on, okay? And it really got me thinking about how, for us as content creators, and then for you as an audience, the big question that kept popping into my head, because she talked about this multiple times, the thing that popped into my head repeatedly was, do the ends justify the means? And what that means is, if you're not familiar with that phrase, because I'm old, if you're not familiar with that phrase, it's basically whatever result you wanted, as long as you get it, who cares how you got there? I have an issue with that. I don't know if you guys have an issue with that. I have an issue with that. There is a problem if you think that anything you do is okay as long as you get the result. So in other words, I don't care how I get $1 million. I just want $1 million. Okay. Let's play that hypothetical, experiment a little bit. If somebody offered you $1 million to smack someone else's child, would you? Do the ends justify the means? The kid will get over it. It's a smack. I'm not like killing the kid. Okay. So yeah, I'll take the $1 million and I'll smack somebody else's kid and everybody's fine. All right. I will pay you $2 million if you scare senior citizens as part of an online prank. Some 80-year-old lady is walking down the street, and I'll pay you $2 million if you jump out and scare her. Would you do that for $2 million? Knowing full well that A, she doesn't need to be harassed by you. B, you could literally kill this person. All right. Do the ends justify the means? You get $2 million. No tax free. We'll take taxes out of it. Screw Uncle Sam. No taxes. $2 million cash. Scare the old people for an hour. You get $2 million. Good with that? And I'm not bringing this up as a judgment of Fousey. I've made comments about Fousey's content and what I think about it. That is not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is, as content creators, we have opportunities to do things that are very outlandish. Okay, we've seen some crazy stuff that like Logan and Jake Paul have done. We've seen stuff that Fousey has done. We've seen stuff that FaZe Clan has done. We've seen stuff that Amouranth has done. There's plenty of ways to go wild in creating content. Really controversial stuff, dangerous stuff, insulting stuff. That's not really hard to do. That's actually kind of the easiest stuff to do. Okay? For somebody, especially like Amouranth and the way she looks with her body, it's not hard to get attention by taking more and more clothes off. That is the easiest way to make money. Now, what she does is not easy. I'm not diminishing her like business skills or anything else. I'm simply saying that the controversy can be the easy stuff. Okay? Because it doesn't require courtesy. If you have to think of courtesy, if you have to think of professionalism, if you have to think of the law, all of these things are restricting. If you just want to throw that out the window and just do whatever you want, all right, fine. But at some point, and everybody has to make this decision for themselves, the ends don't justify the means. It is too dangerous. It is too offensive. It would be real easy for me to live stream, let's say me going through, I live in Southern California. If I walk through South Central LA wearing a Klan hood, people would tune in. If I was a YouTube partner, I would be making the ad dollars, okay? The views would be there. The chat would be there. Let's forget my own safety. Let's imagine that I am not going to get the shit kicked out of me or get shot because I am being that offensive. Is it still worth it to me to go into a community and intentionally offend them so that I can make money? No, for me, it's not. I won't do it. And I think that's where I would disagree with Amouranth's perspective, because she kept talking about this, basically, hey, he was just doing his thing. That's what Fousey does. He was having fun, or he was, making content. He was fulfilling a contract. Who knows? Whatever the clauses are, whatever the little caveats are. But we have to have lines. I think we have to have lines. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, fuck it. If that's what it takes to get the money, get the money. I think we have to have the lines. I would love to know what you all think. You can comment about this live. You can comment on the VOD. You can comment in the show, in the audio, whatever you want to do. You could drop me an email. It's papajuggernaut1@gmail.com. Feel free. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. If you're in the Discord, by the way, there's an entire channel for chat topics. You can go drop your comment in there, and I'll reply. I read them all. I do. I read everything on my Discord. But I would love to know other perspectives on this, because I have mine. It's clearly not the same as Amouranth's. It's clearly not the same as Fousey's, because he's done it. I don't know. Maybe he's had a change of heart. Maybe he's not going to do that stuff anymore because he realized it was over the top. I don't know. Maybe Fousey and I agree more than I thought. But I think that there are ways to do things without risking others, without offending others, without risking my own self-esteem, my own self-respect. And she made this comment, and like I said, her opinion aside and Fousey's opinion aside, what she was saying got my attention, and it made me think about what are the deeper consequences, what are the deeper meanings of what she's saying, because she was saying, let it go. That was in the past. Well, I'm sorry, some people need to get judged on their past. It's a fact. Actions speak louder than words. And if you take that, if you take your statement to a deeper level, you're now saying that we shouldn't judge based on actions or words. That we just forget it and we pretend today is a new day. Yeah, today is a new day, but is this new day going to be accompanied by new actions, or is it going to be accompanied by the same actions as before? In which case, judging you. This isn't a judge-free world. We all get judged based on who we are and what we do. I try every single day. How do I make a difference for somebody? How do I help somebody out? How do I grow my company? How do I support my family? How do I do all these things? How do I make a difference today? Because I can't do it again, yesterday. Whatever I did yesterday or didn't do yesterday, I can't redo that. But I can do today. And what I do today can make something different for tomorrow. So I have that choice. We can't treat every day like yesterday didn't happen. We can try to do better, in which case judge me on that too. But, if I meet somebody who yesterday was, part of the Hells Angels biker gang, and they're like, oh, I'm a good person today. I was like, yesterday you were part of a gang that does kidnapping, murder, rape, drugs, drug smuggling. What happened? I want an explanation for that if you're coming to me with the claim that you're a better person. I want to find out how you went from really terrible social person yesterday to really nice person today. And she didn't know, according to the stream, Fousey asked her straight out, what do you know about me? Like, what did you hear about me before today? Because they had never met. And all she said was, I knew that you were, I think she said, I knew you did skits and pranks, and you were a YouTuber, something like that. Like, she claims to have known almost nothing about this guy, which I think is interesting, because if you're somebody on her level of celebrity and also quite plainly personal danger, lots of crazy people stalk her. You're going to go hang out in Los Angeles with a guy that is a YouTuber? Like that's the criteria. Like, I knew you were on YouTube. Cool. Hey, Amouranth, Jug's on YouTube. Like, we gonna go hang out? Like, that's the bar? I'm a little. I was a little interested in that one. I was like, you've heard more than that. You know more than that. You're just not telling him. Because again, in her perspective, that's the past. That was her thing. It was like, that was the past. I'm judging you on nothing, and let's go have a good day. And they did. From what I saw, they had a fun time together. It was, and she wasn't alone, by the way. She also brought another porn star, Emma something. I don't know. But it was the three of them. It wasn't just Amouranth and Fousey, but obviously those are the two huge stars that were together. And everybody was curious about why. I don't care about the why. I'm more curious about the what did it mean. And just like I said, I took her statements and I was like, there's more thought to that. And I wanted to talk about that with you all. So that's it. That's what we've got for episode 10 of the Papa Jug podcast. Again, we are live every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. Make sure you check us out. You can always watch live. Make sure you drop a subscription to the YouTube channel. Please do that. I encourage you to join the Discord community if you are interested in meeting other gamers or content creators, or just folks that might share your interest outside of either of those two topics. There's a very, very diverse group in here, and we have a great time. So make sure you join the Discord. And as always, go have yourself a good morning, a good day, a good night, whatever it is for you, and I will see you next Friday.